What's up everybody, Steve here at Steve Invest. I'm over here at the Fort Lauderdale condo and let me show you what we got going on here. So as mentioned in a previous video, I said that I wasn't going to do any kind of renovation on this place because it just wasn't necessary for our own use. So things have changed a little bit because we did have a sewage leak. The pipe in this wall that goes up to the unit above, I guess it cracked somewhere up there, and over time I guess sewage has been leaking down. It came into this kitchen as well as the unit below me as well as the unit above me. Now the association, and it's really important if you guys do buy a condo to find out what the association covers if something like this happens. In a lot of cases it's drywall out, meaning the association is going to cover the drywall out, meaning outside of your unit, and then you're responsible from paint inside. So essentially the association is going to be responsible for replacing all the drywall in this kitchen. Now, if I didn't have insurance, I personally would be obligated to have the expenditure for the cabinetry and the countertops and flooring and so forth in terms of the damage that occurred in this unit. However, I did have insurance, and I'm in the process of the insurance claim, and I can tell you it's been a bit of a process. I did meet with the insurance adjuster out here. We went through everything pretty thoroughly, but one thing that he didn't do was he didn't send the information pertaining to the damage to the flooring. Granted, there's not visible damage that you can see so much, but when you walk on it, you can tell that some of the sewage got underneath, and that is a problem. Furthermore, he did not send my bids that I got from general contractors on the whole renovation project. He never sent the bids over to the lady that basically makes the decision to allocate certain monies toward the renovation costs. So it's been kind of a hassle right now. She only allocated about $8,000 toward the renovation, which basically would cover the kitchen, but the flooring was not included, and my bids ran around $21,000. So when I get back to my other place on the West Coast, I'm gonna bring you guys through the numbers and also some tips on what you can do if you guys do have to file an insurance claim to further protect you guys, because at the end of the day, the insurance companies want to pay you as little money as possible and settle the claim. Alright, I'm back on the West Coast of Florida, and sure enough, I checked the mail today and I did receive a check. And this is after speaking to the adjuster about my dissatisfaction with the amount that they think that I deserve for the claim. And I'll show you here. I gotta block out the information on the check, but as you can see, it is a check in the amount of $7,994. And as previously mentioned, I did have a phone conversation with the lady. I asked her what the amount was, because she was really quick to say, hey, we came to a settlement agreement and we're gonna get the check out to you in 2 to 3 days. And I'm like, cool, fantastic. And she was getting ready to hang up, but before she hung up, I asked her, you know, how much did it come out to be? And she said just under $8,000. And I'm going to talk about some tips for you guys as well if you ever do experience having to basically file a claim for any kind of insurance purposes. But one of the things that I did in that phone conversation was when she said that amount, I immediately got quiet. Okay? And that is part of just good negotiation. Sometimes silence it can work to your benefit. So immediately I got quiet, and it was a good 10 seconds, maybe 5 seconds, and she's like, Steve, are you still there? And I said, yeah, I'm here. Second tip on this is you gotta always be polite. You can't be combative. You must be assertive at times, but it's important to be polite. They're human beings on that other side, and if you are polite to the insurance adjusters, there's a good chance that they're going to look out for you as well. So I politely responded to her. I just said, you know, I don't see, and I used her name. I'm not going to use it in this film. I referred to her first name. Make sure you're using their first name because everybody likes to hear their name. So we'll just call her Jan. So I said, Jan, you know, I just don't see how the numbers are adding up. And she asked me, well, why do I say that? And I was like, you know, I have bids here for $21,000. Do you have the contractor bids? And she said, no, I never received them. For one thing, I did email her, but also when I met the adjuster inspector at the property, I gave him a copy and emailed him a copy. So he never provided that info over to Jan. And furthermore, he basically left out the flooring damage, which, you know, their vinyl plank flooring, and the leak got underneath the flooring. So it all has to come up, you know, because at the end of the day, if you just have it in there, you're going to have mildew, you're going to have mold growth and so forth. So the flooring all has to come up. Now, even after me contesting this, they still sent the check out. So I did respond to her by email and I said I received the check. However, I do want to contest this. What is the next procedure? Now, I put it in her hands. And she said to send over the contractor bids, which I did. I sent those over. And then she replied asking for whatever contractor I'm going with to have a written contract, signed contract, which I'm in the process of doing right now. So as soon as I receive that, I will send that over to her. And hopefully we get this amount increased. I'm not going to cash this check. I'm going to wait because when you do cash a check, it does mean that you are agreeing to that contract, and that's what insurance companies want you to do. So I will not cash this check until we come to some sort of resolution. Some further tips for you guys. A lot of times insurance companies, they're going to purposely slow things down. You know, their goal is, you know, they're in business to make money. Don't be fooled for a second. They are in business to make money. So what a lot of insurance companies do is they either want to slow the process down and cause anguish because, you know, it might be a big deal where you can't even live there. Granted, this place is a kind of a second property for me. So if I was living there full time, it would be a different situation. I might be put in a hotel. There might be a lot of things that just affect my day-to-day living. So a lot of people can get stressed out about that. And insurance companies, they'll try to slow everything down if they know you're in a vulnerable stage like that on purpose, because what they want to do is when they send you a settlement or deny you a claim, if they send you a smaller settlement like that I received, they're hoping that, okay, you know, they're in a bad situation. They need the funds to get the process moving forward along so they can get back to normal living. And, you know, the whole goal is for you to just say, screw it, I've been waiting months. You throw your hands up, you cash this check. So don't be fooled by that. Just make it known that you're willing to go through this whole process until you feel that you're being treated fairly, because at the end of the day, you have been paying your insurance premiums, you have been feeding the insurance companies, and you have every right to get every dime on what it's going to cost to repair your home for whatever damages that you've had. Remember also, this can be an emotional time for you. And it's very, very important when you are speaking with the adjuster that you guys remove any and all emotions associated with it. It's very important, because if you're emotional, you may become combative. You know, a lot of people would get an $8,000 check and want to get on the phone and call the adjuster and start reaming this person out. That's what you do not want to do. Again, reverting to tip number one, you want to be unemotional. You want to just be cool and calm and collective. Treat them with respect, because in the end, you guys will get what you want. And if you don't, then you're going to have to take other courses of action, which we'll talk about. again, in negotiations, when I was silent when she presented under $8,000, I just got silent. It works to your negotiation. She understood I was not happy with that bid and I was not gonna accept that bid. So I made it very clear over the phone, even though they still sent the check out. Maybe they dispersed checks from another office or whatever the case is, hoping that I'm going to sign this check. But she understands right now, per my correspondence with her and what she's asking for, that I'm not going to settle for that amount. You also want to be prepared. You have to take pictures and videos and be very thorough on your end. You want to be prepared with all the evidence, because the adjuster is gonna research and look at all the evidence presented. So you guys really want to present this almost as if you were in court for going through a court case. You want to present all your evidence, and also you want to make sure that you get your own independent contractor bids. I would say at least a minimum of 2, because it's going to show that you brought in 2 different verified professional general contractors to come in and do their bids, and hopefully they're going to be close to around the same. We had one that was just over 21,000, another one that was like 19 and change. So you want to have 2 verified bids, and encourage the adjuster to call those general contractors and talk through those bids. Odds are they probably won't, but you have your own independent bids, so be prepared with those, because you're not going to be able just to rely on the inspector that went out there to the property and utilized their own formulas. As mentioned, that inspector never included the flooring, even though I was there. I spoke to him about the flooring, and his response when I was talking about the flooring, to touch back on that, is he used his moisture meter gun and shot at the floor. He said there's no moisture there. So I took pictures of it as well, and I always have in that condo, there's just a small window unit for the AC, so there's not central air. And I always had a 24/7 dehumidifier running with a constant feed into the sink, so I didn't have to keep draining it out. It was constantly running. And I explained that to Jan as well, saying that because I have that as a constant feed and running, it really alleviated a lot of the moisture. It could have been way, way worse. But the damage was done. It got under those floors, and the floors, on the backside, it's almost like a particle board. So it's all warped out, and you can tell when you're stepping on the floors as well. So it was important to have this evidence to back it all up. So when he did not include the flooring, I'm fighting for it. I'm fighting and showing that, look, I had a dehumidifier. It helped out a lot. There could have been way worse damage. So basically, I helped you guys out in a sense. Always be prepared when you guys are getting on the phone, or if they do call you, maybe have a note section in your phone so you can revert back to, but you want to make sure you always have your claim number at hand, especially if you're going to call in. Make sure obviously you know your address and everything else, and make sure you have the insurance number or the contractor numbers and roughly the costs associated with it, so you can intelligently talk about the cost of the cabinetry, the cost of the flooring, and break it down and talk about it intelligently with the adjuster. And that's exactly what I did. I was like, you're missing out on the floors, because all she was talking about was the $8,000 toward the kitchen. The last thing is, if they request something from you, make sure that you respond in a timely manner, whatever that they need. Look, you're not the only file that they're dealing with, so be sure that you are providing them everything that they need in a timely manner as quickly as possible, because it shows that you guys want it. It shows that you guys are responsive, and they're more likely to work with you as opposed to somebody that's just kind of taking their time and really not putting forth the effort and work. This is going to take some work on your behalf, but make sure that you guys are responding in a timely manner. I'm going to do a second video on this as well once we get everything wrapped up, and I'll keep you guys posted. The last thing that I want to touch on is, if they do not move forward and provide me the compensation for the flooring, then my other options, again, you got to be relentless and assertive, and I will let Jan know about this as well, that I plan on hiring my own independent insurance adjuster, which you guys have every right to do. And if that doesn't proceed and move forward, then I will retain an attorney, which you guys have every right to do. You might, depending on the scope of work, you might even be able to get an attorney that works on a contingency basis where they might be able to essentially get a portion of the amount that's allocated for your insurance claim as well. So I'm not gonna stop until I exhaust all my options for getting the right amount of money for resolving the issue that was essentially out of my hands. So I will do a part 2 on this once I get everything resolved, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. And I appreciate you guys watching this. If you got any value out of this video, I appreciate a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot.